Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper today, and today I'll be reviewing Arcane, which is a sort of adaptation, I would say, of the League of Legends game. I believe, because I think it's an adaptation because it has a lot of the same characters that it has in the show that and in the games, and and the show is uh basically set in this sort of cyberpunk based world, and it's all about just kind of shows. I think from for the first few episodes, it basically shows off some of the day to day life that some of the characters do, and then in the later episodes, kind of sees us or shows us sort of like more of the more war. I would say war type elements. I would say because in I would say that I think from the in the first three episodes, it follows one of the perspectives that the show follows is on a bunch of friends who just kind of like scavenge about and find anything to sell, and it also shows one of the more higher powerful people, kind of trying to create magic and stuff like that, and then in the later episodes is more people kind of trying to figure out what's happening and or just trying to get more powerful and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of what I got from the show when I watched it, and I would say this is a really really fun show because it has a lot of really cool elements, and I think that a lot of the elements that's introduced in the show really helps to kind of expand the lore of the show in a sort of sense because I think from episode four onwards, because I think this is a 9 episode show, I believe, and from episode four onwards there's a time skip between episodes three and four, which I think that really helps the show a bit because in the first three episodes we get to see all these characters, we get to sort of understand them a bit and kind of help us sort of like understand who they are and what they do, and then from episode four onwards to the end of the show we see that time skip and we see where the characters are now since episode three, and yeah, that's really cool and interesting, and I do like how all the stuff that's in the show kind of like bounces off all of the other things. So, like I said before, it's based in this sort of like cyberpunk based world, and you've got characters that know about magic. You've got people who use sort of these sort of futuristic cyberpunk based weapons and stuff like that. And yeah, I do really enjoy a lot of the stuff. For instance, two of the characters, Vi and Powder, later known to be Jinx, I believe. Um, they are quite close, but then after the time skip, they are separated, and Powder, who becomes Jinx, I'm just going to call her Jinx because I think that's going to make it easier for me. Jinx is kind of fed lies from what I remember, about her sister, and she kind of feels betrayed because of that, and Vi really wants to try and reconnect with her sister, and that's really cool and interesting, and that's something you don't often see in um, shows like this, and I think, and you can see that there were moments of um, Jinx kind of returning back to Powder in some scenes, but I think in the very final episode, um, Jinx captures Vi, and she makes her choose either to have Jinx or Powder, and that's a thing that I think that's a really sort of intimidating scene because it's sort of it's kind of hard, and I think on Vi because um, because Jinx kidnaps also her adoptive father and one of Vi's friends, that she made, I think, since episode four, I believe. and yeah, that's sort of like an intimidating scene. And towards the end, Jinx sits because in that scene there are two chairs, one with the name Powder, the other one with the name Jinx, and Jinx sits in the Jinx chair, and I believe that it basically means that Powder is dead, Jinx is remains, or something like that. I think that's what the scene is supposed to be about, and yeah, and there's a guy who who creates magic, and I think that his arc is interesting because he starts off as this sort of he is known, but like he isn't well known, he isn't famous and stuff like that. And in I think in the first three episodes, he's trying to create magic, and then I think in episode three, he is able to perfect it, and then from episode four until the end, he is getting more well known and getting more recognized, and he is, I think, placed in the highest possible, excuse me, in the highest possible power that there is in this world. And yeah, and again, there's like you can clearly see the character arc that he's kind of going on, and as the show as a whole, I do like the whole warring factions that this show has, because I do like how it's basically, oh, we have to fight uh, we have to fight this particular person or find out whoever is has been hired by this person and stuff like that. And yeah, I think there's a lot of really cool character moments that I do enjoy, and yeah, I would say overall that I would say Arcane is a really enjoyable show. I think it's a nice, good, I would say, day and a half. I would say if you watch it, or I would say I think it's like a half a day, like around a half a day, also because I think each episode is about 45 minutes long. I would say it's around 40 to 45 minutes, each episode, and each episode is because this is more of an animated show, and the animation looks really good. You don't really because it's really good. It's a really well animated show, and I think talking about it would wouldn't do it justice. I would say I highly suggest that you go watch Arcane, to watch the animation because it's so good, especially in the fight scenes. I think that the fight scenes are really fun and really enjoyable, and they have so much pizzazz to them that I think that what makes them fun. And also, the opening enemy is really enjoyable because it's made by Imagine Dragons with JID. I think it's either JID or GID. I'm not 100% how to pronounce the guy's name, but they make a really cool opening with enemy. And again, I wouldn't. I think enemy is a really fun song. I'll probably leave it. I'll leave the link in the description so you can listen to it for yourselves. But that song's really cool, and I just the show as a whole I do really enjoy. I think it has a lot of really cool elements to it. I think a lot of the fight scenes are really fun. It's just one of those shows that I feel like just I think it's just a good show just to watch and have fun with it, and just yeah, it's just really cool. And I do like all of the characters in the show. I think they all interact quite well with each other. So yeah, I would say overall, Arcane is a very cool show. So that's been my review for Arcane. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.